Chapter 7. Checkmate. The small glass office suddenly felt like a pressurized coffin. Andy Vance stared at Alex, his breath coming in shallow, ragged bursts. The name of his secret file, the contents of his most private password, hearing them spoken aloud in Alex's dead calm voice, was like watching a surgeon lay out your own vital organs on a steel tray. "Let's talk somewhere more private," Alex said, his tone leaving no room for argument. He stepped back and opened the door, gesturing with his head towards the empty conference room across the hall. The Shark Tank, the team called it. It was where deals were killed and careers ended. Like a man walking to his own execution, Andy stumbled out of his office and followed. A walk across the 50 feet of open plain carpet felt like a mile. He was acutely aware of the few remaining employees, their eyes following him, sensing the seismic shift in the office power structure. The hunter had become the hunted, and the prey was being led to the abattoir. Alex didn't turn on the main lights in the conference room, allowing the deep blue twilight of the city to filter through the floor-to-ceiling windows. He shut the door, the click final and absolute. The two men stood in the gloom, silhouettes against the glittering London skyline. "What do you want?" Andy finally whispered, his voice stripped of all its usual arrogance. "Money, is that it? I can get you money. We can work something out." Alex emitted a soft, humorless laugh. "Money? You think this is about money?" He walked slowly around the long conference table, his footsteps unnervingly silent. "This is about an ecosystem that you poisoned. You took Johnny Carter, a good, brilliant kid who loves his job, and you tried to brand him a racist for life just to clear your path. You took Mark Sharma, a desperate man trying to keep his family afloat, and you twisted his fear into a weapon. You didn't just break the rules, Andy, you broke people." He stopped directly opposite Andy, the polished mahogany table a battlefield between them. "I don't want your money," Alex said, his voice dropping to an icy, precise whisper. "I want your absence. I want your corrupting influence gone from this office. I want my team to be able to breathe again." He laid out the ultimatum, not as a threat, but as a statement of unalterable fact. "You have two paths. Path A, by 9 a.m. Tomorrow, an email will be sent from your account to Alastair Davies and HR. You will resign, effective immediately, citing personal reasons. You will pack your things, you will walk out of that door, and you will never work in this industry again if I can help it. In return, the Cognito Analytics file remains my secret. The evidence of Mark's coercion stays on my private server. You get to disappear quietly. You get to keep what's left of your pathetic life." Andy swallowed hard, a flicker of hope in his eyes. He saw a way out, but Alex wasn't finished. "Then there is Path B," he continued, his voice hardening. "You fight, you stay, you try to call my bluff. And if you choose that path, by 9:05 a.m., an anonymous package will be couriered to the General Counsel of Cognito Analytics, containing a full, unredacted copy of your stolen proposal. An email containing your correspondence with Mark will be sent to every investigative journalist in the UK who covers corporate malfeasance. And just for good measure, I will send a full report to our own IT security, detailing your password hygiene and demonstrating how you, a candidate for head of digital strategy, are a walking security liability. You won't just be fired, Andy. You'll be sued into bankruptcy by Cognito. You'll be blacklisted by every reputable firm on the continent. Your name will become a byword for fraud and incompetence. You will be utterly and completely destroyed. There is no pap sit. Checkmate." Andy stared, his mind frantically trying to find an escape route where none existed. He had built his career on bluffing, bullying, and manipulating the system. He had no defense against someone who operated outside of it, someone who had rewritten the very laws of the game. The sheer totality of his defeat crashed down on him. He had picked a fight with a quiet coder and discovered, too late, that he had provoked a god of vengeance. He collapsed into one of the expensive leather chairs, the air rushing out of him in a defeated hiss. His shoulders slumped, his head bowed. The arrogant, preening king was well and truly dead. "Okay," he whispered to the polished table. "Okay." Alex watched him for a moment longer, feeling nothing but the cold satisfaction of a problem solved. He turned and walked out of the Shark Tank, leaving Andy Vance to contemplate the ruins of his own ambition in the gathering darkness. The next morning, the office was abos. At 8:58 am, the email had landed. Andy Vance had resigned, effective immediately, for personal reasons. There was no grand announcement, no farewell party, just a digital notification, and then an empty office. His nameplate was gone by 10. A ghost had been exorcised. On the development team's pod, the mood was electric. It was as if a physical weight had been lifted from the air. Johnny was laughing again, a genuine, booming laugh as he helped a junior dev with a piece of code. The light was back in his eyes. Alex's kingdom was safe. His people were safe. Vengeance was complete. Later that afternoon, he found Elena by the Espressibo machine on the third floor, the site of their first clandestine meeting. She handed him a cup of black coffee without him having to ask. "I heard there was a sudden vacancy on the senior leadership team," she said, her expression neutral, but her eyes sharp and knowing. She didn't need the details. She saw the result. "These things happen," Alex replied, taking a sip. The coffee wasn't bitter this time. "The king is dead," she said with a wry, subtle smile. "Long live! Well, we'll see, won't we?" It was a statement of alliance, a recognition of the power he had wielded so quietly and so devastatingly. They were no longer just colleagues from different departments. They were two people who understood how the world really worked, bound by a shared secret and a mutual respect for competence. "We'll see," Alex agreed. He felt a sense of peace, of closure. But as he turned to walk back to his desk, his phone vibrated. It was an email. Not from HR, not from his team, but from an address he hadn't expected to see so soon. From Alastair Davies, Co.O. Subject: Next Steps. "Alex, your proactive approach has proven effective. The head of digital strategy position is now vacant. My office tomorrow. 10, and we have much to discuss." Alex stopped in the middle of the walkway. The peace he'd felt moments before evaporated, replaced by the familiar, cold hum of calculation. He had won the battle, eliminated the threat, and protected his own. But in doing so, he had put a spotlight on himself. He had demonstrated a rare and dangerous capability, and the powers that be had taken notice. In the world of corporate warfare, victory never meant peace. It just meant promotion to a more dangerous battlefield. The game wasn't over, it had just begun.